Okay, 2 packages. One of the openings right here. Let's see. Fucking IGPX. Okay. Let's start with this. Not sure what to think about this series. I think I've seen a couple of characters before. I don't know what it's about. It's sub only. Region A only. The Blu-ray discs, so probably only 2. You can see the disc ones are the same. Disc 2 is unique. Next up, Lord Marksman and Vanadis. None of these characters jump out at me as having been seen before. Regions A and B, unless that's supposed to be a 6. Yeah, must have been the cover. There we go. And audio English. So dubbed as expected. Looks like DVD discs. Postcards. While there, I was thinking these girls aren't wearing pants. Like that anime whose name I can't remember, Strike Witches. Definitely looks curious. Blu-ray. More cards. DVD re-releases of Pokemon movies 1, 2, and 3. They have Pikachu stickers on them. I got these because the previous US releases were cut down to 4x3. As you can see, this claims it's 16 by 9. I'm not sure if it's more than that. Yeah, English audio. I was just wondering about those the claim of subtitles. Doubt it has Japanese dub. That'd be pretty cool though. Probably does not come with the Mewtwo Returns special. Would have been neat. Pokemon Movie 2, 2000. 16 by 9 again. Pretty similar on the inside. Movie 3. No surprise. 16 by 9. Blu-ray release of the 3 movies in a limited edition collectible tin thing. Looks like the kind of same information. Same things. These are our discs. They say they're region A only. So sorry anybody else that wanted them picking here. It says region A right there. Next up, Akame Ga Kill, which may be pretty notable because I think people have mentioned it before. It looks curious. I'm guessing this is a limited edition version. Hard to remember. Let's just do it this way. This is Blu-ray. Region A. Dubbed. Glad to see discs in it. It felt pretty light. Huh. Feels weird. Or sounds weird. And then we got this one. DVD. 3 discs. Let's see, did I look at the disc art even in the first one? I'm trying to remember what they were. Because I guess this makes sense. Since the DVD and the Blu-ray are released together, it doesn't go with Sentai's normal habit of shared disc art. Warning, spoiler alert, the red book. Okay, I'm not going to open that then. And then we've got this, which as you can hear has something in it. It's a limited edition. That's a die cut sticker, mini poster, 100-page hardcover booklet, temporary issue tattoos. Cool, something I'll not use. So this is probably a poster of some sort. I guess this camera's having trouble staying focused. So that doesn't turn it out. Yes, that's right. So we got that on one side, on the other. And now we go back down here. That looks like a sticker of some sort. I wouldn't be surprised if these are temporary tattoos. Hey look, they're temporary tattoos. Cool. So let's put these back in the box. And with IGPX, the reason I obviously already have the older version. This one, the older version is the Cartoon Network only version. So, my understanding, this one comes with Japanese with English subtitles, which, as you can see, it does. It's a weird box. Who released this? Discotheque. Didn't they also release something else in this packaging? Can't remember. Yeah. It's like the Cardcaptor Sakura Blu-ray release. It's a lot of discs. As you can see, this went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have shared discs. Looks like an invertible cover. It was a fun show. Oh, this week's anime DVD collection update. This has been a very exhausting week. Anime. Okay, I'm currently watching Ping Pong the Animation. It's good. It's not the kind of art style I normally get into, but and the format isn't the sort of thing I normally get excited about with sports anime, but it's interesting and curious. Some excitement and wonder in there, but I don't know if I'm even halfway through it yet, so I might not be able to completely judge it until I finish it. Watch the first disc of Naruto Shippuden DVD set 25. What happened? I mean, it was okay, but it kind of hints at what's wrong with Naruto Shippuden at this point. It's got a lot of good ideas, but they kind of overuse them. I can't remember the exact thing the little kid was saying, but that's a really good example. If it's supposed to be cute, it would have been fine if it was like there for a bit, but then it just kind of keeps going because they're trying to explain other stuff but still have that kid there, and so it doesn't quite work. I thought it overstays itself and feels artificial instead of real or something. I'm trying to remember. Train of thought's hard to keep. And then I watched Evangelion 3.33, and yeah, I could see why it was a problem. I just don't remember what day it was. Sorry. It's one thing I've always thought about Evangelion was that one of the reasons people liked the characters in it so much, I mean, it did a lot of things that kind of changed the way people look at things, and it changed the industry, and one of those things was to kind of make characters, I guess darker is the way some people interpreted it, but you add some real character flaws such that, you know, they feel like slightly more real people, because they're not perfect people or something like that. You know, Asuka's a bitch, Shinji's a coward, Rei's emotionless, and you know, you name any character in there, and there's something about them that's flawed, and it's brought to the forefront. It isn't just like the character. It's like it's important. It's like Misato's history really influences her, and Ritsuko's history really influences her, and you kind of, that's what makes it interesting, deep and psychological, I guess. And I bring that up regarding 3.33 because I'd say the thing about it that was not quite there. This is the same problem that a lot of people have, is that you can have these hateful things, and then you can make a character that's so defined by it that they kind of, you know, sort of like the dancing, singing thing I was mentioning in Naruto, they cross over a sort of boundary. In this case, I thought it was a boundary where they go from kind of hateful but lovable at the same time to just completely loathsome. And I think Asuka's a really good example, because like I said, you know, she was always complaining and whining, but you could sometimes understand where she was coming from. But this one, she was calling Shinji ignorant, and I have to assume that because the dub was reworked, that's definitely not a localization thing. That's going to be what they really wanted her to be saying, and that's different from her saying idiot. And it's kind of a bad thing. This is a really good example, because in this situation, based on where the previous movie left off, you would understand that Shinji would not have all the facts given to him in this movie, and that's kind of the problem. People like Asuka actually have the ability to give him facts, but instead of doing that, call him ignorant, which basically means there's kind of like two ignorances I'm talking about here. There's an ignorant where you could know, but because you don't know, you really should be aware of the fact that you don't know. And then there's people explicitly won't let you know, and then of course the wrong thing happens, but at that point it doesn't make sense to say it's that person's fault. It's sort of like if you intentionally kept a kid locked up in a room and then you let them out and they didn't know that they should not bite people or something like that. You know, even though they're 18, you know, they may be ignorant, but that's the kind of ignorance that's like you have to do something about, but you can't really say it's the same kind of ignorance as somebody who has grown up and maybe he hasn't been told, but other people don't bite and other people don't want to be bitten and act like that, and so that kind of ignorance is different. I think the law kind of has a similar concept with the mens rea concept, where, you know, it's Latin for guilty mind or something like that, and the idea is when somebody commits a crime, you punish them because of the state of their mind in terms of committing that crime, i.e. guilty mind. In other words, you either prove that they intended to do something with deliberate disregard for impact on other people, or that they should have been able to figure it out to enough of a degree that where they wouldn't. So it's sort of like I'm sort of liking it's let's see, other stuff. Dragon Warrior 7. Let's see, I got to the end. Since I want to see the bonus dungeons, I'm doing preparation stuff. I got all the shards. And before I go forward, I'm wanting to catch up on Monster Park. So maybe next week I might be done completely. Depends on how tricky these bonus dungeons are, and if they're tricky enough, maybe I won't continue forward, but I don't know. I mean, the idea here is to finish the game and then this stuff. Okay, that's this week's everything, I think. Other than, of course, the reason why it's like this, and it's too complicated. This has not been a good week. Now, it's not been a horrible week. This doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop buying anime or anything like that. It's just little things like the latest the pile of stuff is card fraud services did a good job and blocked it, but that's still meant today. Going to bank, getting new cards, switching all bills over to using that, and all anime pre-orders. Timing wise, it's good for pre-ordering next month's stuff, which happens this weekend. But it's been a list of stuff, and I can only remember whatever I need to do right now. Alright, I think that's everything. Hopefully I'll be better next week, and y'all all have a nice week.